In this lesson, we're going to be talking about average rate of change of a function. Now, the average rate of change, what you need to know here is that it's always going to be over an interval. And remember, we talked about intervals is x and x. So that means that the first number listed would be my x1. The second number listed is my x2. Then our job is to find the y1 and y2. Sometimes you will have to calculate it, and sometimes you can find it off of a graph. But once you know both x numbers and you know both y numbers, then average rate of change is also known as slope. And remember, we have a little formula for slope. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that's what they're basically trying to tell you up here, but they try to type the formula even fancier, so you don't have to worry about that. Just remember, subtract the y's over subtract the x's. So if we look at our first example, you will notice that I give you the line right here, y equals 3 minus 2x over the interval negative 9, comma 10. Since it's an interval, then that means these are my two x numbers. So right now I know x1 is negative 9. And to find y1, what you have to do is take that x value and plug it into your equation and calculate it out. So for y1, I have 3 minus 2, but instead of x, substitute in x1, which is negative 9. So then if you work this out, you get 3 plus 18, and 3 plus 18 means y1 is 21. Now you're going to do the same thing for your next x number. So x2, which is 10. So to find y2, now go plug 10 in. So 3 minus 2 times 10, which gives me 3 minus 20. And 3 minus 20 is negative 17. Now that you know both y's, then go back to your slope formula. So y2 is negative 17 minus y1, which is 21, over x2, which is 10, minus x1, which is negative 9. On the top, you get negative 38. On the bottom, you will get 19. And when you divide it out, you get your final answer to be negative 2. Okay. Second example, we're going to do the same thing all over again. Okay, so you're going to notice that I give you a different equation, and this is my first x, and this is my second x. So I'm going to call x1 negative 2 and x2 3. So for y1, let's go plug in negative 2. And when you plug negative 2 in, you must plug it in for both of the x's. And then another key thing to remember, when you use your calculator and you square a negative number, you must put it in parentheses as I have it written, or otherwise your calculator will give you the wrong answer, because negative 2 squared is positive 4. Then minus 8 minus 10, which means y1 is negative 14. Okay, for y2, go plug in 3 for each of the x's. And if I do that, I get 9 plus 12 minus 10, which means y2 is 11. So now remember, average rate of change is the same thing as slope. So y2, which is 11, minus y1, which is negative 14, over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is negative 5, or negative 2, sorry. And that will give me 25 over 5, which reduces down to positive 5 as my final answer. Now, the next problems, when you get to them, you're going to notice that you no longer have an equation. And instead of an equation, I give you a picture. Okay, so once again, the intervals are still your x numbers. So I know x1 is 1, and I know x2 is 3. But this time, instead of plugging them in, we go find them off the graph. So my first x number is 1. So here's 1 on the x-axis. And that one touches my picture right there. So since it touches my picture, then I just have to say, okay, well, what's the y value? And the y value for that point is 0. Now the next problem, or the next part, x2 is 3, so go find 3 on the x-axis. That one does not touch my picture, so you must move either up or down. And in our case, we must move down till it touches my picture. And then where it touches my picture, go across to figure out the y value, and you will have y2 being negative 4. Now subtract the y's over subtract the x's. So negative 4 minus 0 over 3 minus 1, which gives me negative 4 over 2, which reduces to negative 2 as my final answer. Okay, the last one, you're going to notice that this one, the interval is typed a little funny, but don't let that confuse you. The number on the left is still going to be considered x1, and then the number on the right side is still going to be considered x2. So I'm still giving you both x numbers, even though it's typed a little different. So for y1, I go find 1 on the x-axis, and I have to go up till it touches my picture. And then if I go across, I'm going to have y1 as 1 as well. x2 is 4, so I find 4. Go up till it touches my picture. Go across, and I get the y value to be 2. So subtract your y's, 2 minus 1, over subtract your x's, which is 4 minus 1. And I come up with the answer of 1/3. Remember, slope can be a fraction. I don't want you to think every single time that it has to come up to be a whole number. And that's it.